Good evening, everybody. Today, I want to talk about dukkha, about suffering, and I want to refer to the sutta, which is called Dukkha Sutta, the suffering. Buddha is talking about three kinds of suffering. But before we will start, also we will present the sutta, and Lisa will read these short things. The Buddha described three kinds of suffering. But before this, I want just to tell you a story. This story, it's about the people from India. They used to travel. They travel with the wagon, with the horses, with the ox, with the cow. So they travel from one place to another place. And sometimes it's happened that the oil inside the wheels is turning and is holding one to the others by wood, okay, like an axle. So these oils that hold the wood and connect from one wheel to another wheel, sometimes it was not good enough. It was making problems. It was not fixed good. Something like this, or this space that exists in the middle of the wheel, it was not feeding so good. So in Pali, in Sanskrit and Pali, we say ekasa, okay? And then you have like, this is like the hole inside the wheel, but and it's also referred to the sky, for example. Okay, you have like a cut. For example, if you remember, when you have one chanting, say Burapa Rasaming Paputta Kunang Burapa. So this you have the Akat Rasaming Paputta. Akat, it means sky in this case. It's a space. Okay? And then okay, so this space that exists in the middle of the wheel, it was not so good. And to say bad in Pali, it's do. Do, it means bad. So they wanted to say the bad oil making scandal, making problem. This bad oil that exists in the middle of the wheel make us problem. It make a lot of difficulties, inconvenient. So they say, do, it mean bad. Ka, it's the oil. It means this bad oil, it's referred to make us difficulties. And from here come the word of dukkha, the bad oil that actually cause a lot of difficulties on the way. Now there is another word which is good. This is su. So if we take the ka, the akat, or kasa, this is ka, okay? We left only ka. And then you put good space or good hole that have sukha. So from here come the word of sukha and dukkha actually. From the all of the will that people want to say this space making us a problem, or this, if it's good one, so it's make convenient. So from here we get good and bad, sukha and dukkha. Okay, so now today I want to talk about dukkha. When we talk about this bad oil that make us a lot of problem, it start to develop into different kind of idea, what kind of difficulties, like inconvenient, okay? So we get difficult, we got unpleasant, we got uncomfortable, okay, unease, grief, stress, suffering, sorrow, sadness, pain. So you see how misery. So you see from this idea that the space in the oil in the wagon was making problem, they start to refer it as something which is not convenient. And that's how we got all this wording of where the source of the word dukkha come to be as a suffering things. Okay, and in the same thing, sukha, which is the all which is convenient and then is making comfortable riding. Sometimes you can say it also as the wheel of the samsara. Okay, if the wheels of the samsara, if this make problem in the wheel of samsara, so then it's not steady. So this bring dukkha. Okay, because sometimes you can say the word of they use the word of ka as a to stand. Okay, something to stand or steady. Okay, so this is actually the source of the word dukkha and sukha. From now, I want to switch into the sutta itself and to explain three kinds of dukkha that the Buddha is talking about. Please. We are presenting now the sutta. Okay, after Lisa will read it, I will explain about these three kinds of dukkha that the Buddha is talking.
Lisa, kannst du es sehen?
Ja, ich sehe es.
Good. Okay. So please, you can read it first, and after this we will take it out, okay? And then we just continue the Dharma talk. Please.
Suffering. Bhikkhus, there are these three kinds of suffering. What three? Suffering due to pain, suffering due to formations, suffering due to change. These are the three kinds of suffering. The Noble Eightfold Path is to be developed for direct knowledge of these three kinds of suffering, for the full understanding of them, for their utter destruction, for their abandoning.
Okay, so we can take it out, and then I explain this kind of three kind of suffering what the Buddha mentioned in the sutta. Okay, that's now you can see me. It's not the sharing anymore. Huh? It's still sharing.
It's still sharing, Ajarn.
It's still sharing. Huh?
But
okay, so I just can continue talking with this. Okay. Anyway, but not necessary. Not necessary. Maybe you can take it. You can see me clear. I mean,
Yes, but you're small.
I don't see the sharing, but if it's convenient, we can talk like this. Good. So I want to start first when you see the Buddha is talking there about three kinds of dukkha. The first dukkha, I call it dukkha, that actually is painful, from pain. Okay, and then this is in the Pali. This is called dukkha-dukkha. Okay, dukkha, it's also the term in Sanskrit, how they explain. Okay, just and then what is this kind of this actually dukkha or suffering that come from aversion. This is the most clear to understand. This is the suffering that because we don't like something, okay? Which, for example, this is it's all the time influenced by disturbing or uncomfortable situations. For example, if you have pain, so in the very beginning, when the pain starts, you don't like it. During the time that it exists, you also don't like it. But in the moment that it's go away, then you feel relief. Okay, so this is normally if you talk to people, they will say, oh yeah, of course, this is suffering, okay? And the Buddha said that it's a lot of, that's why in the Sutta it's also feeling, pain feeling. Okay, for example, if you talk about the birth, the Buddha say about birth. So for example, sometimes you want boy and then you get a girl, okay? Sometimes you want, but you cannot get pregnant. You have, for example, the mother herself, she became sick. The child became sick. It's not convenient, okay? Nobody wants to be sick. The husband wants something, the wife wants another things, okay? So create conflict. The child became born unhealthy, maybe missing limb, missing part of the body, or any kind of sickness that she have to carry 9 months in the stomach. All the hormones, all the pain, physical. For the husband, it's not convenient. Maybe he want to do his own things, but he have to take care to the family or whatever to help to the wife. Normally people will say, oh, we want baby. But actually, if you think about this, you see how much suffering it's inside this process of birthing to give birth, okay? When just the baby born, immediately start to cry, okay? Let's see what... okay, so you see that actually in the birth itself, there is a situation which is inconvenient. When they just start, immediately they're not nice. When you have a pain, just the pain start, or maybe you cut yourself. In the moment that you cut yourself, immediately you don't feel comfortable. And then it's getting maybe the wounded start to be inflamed or something like this and problems. And then when it's relief, then you say, very nice that it's go away. I think everybody will agree about this, that this is actually kind of suffering. And then the Buddha say also aging is suffering. We don't want, so many people, they go, they make an operation, they don't want to get old. Maybe the children, when they get old, they start to be teenage, problematic or whatever. And then we have achy, the body pain, and not convenient many things. Maybe many countries, they just bring another man or woman that taking care for the old people, okay? Difficult. And then the man himself or woman, they start to feel not nice, that someone have to take care about them. All the aging is not himself is not comfortable. They need maybe medicine. They have to go to the doctor. Yeah, maybe they need some tools, like I don't know, bumper, say like for the kaki, for the pee or catheter. So many problems like this with the aging itself. Because now sometimes I ask people, do you like to be old? Say, yeah, why not? It can be nice. They don't understand the meaning of it. Okay? That's why I go into detail to explain what is the things that make us when we're getting old, how much difficult is it? We want to know when you are young, you can carry, you have talent, maybe your memory is good, and then you start to lose your memory. I'm not talking about Alzheimer and things like this. Some young people, you ask them, can you carry some box for me? I cannot do it. The body is not function like before. And then sickness. Any one of you really want to be sick? Maybe you have some kind of gripa, or maybe you have COVID. People, they're all the time struggling to keep themselves. How much when it was the COVID, people, they hide in the house not to get sick, okay? You in travel, you need to put mask or whatever. So different kind of sickness, the body is not function like it should be. Okay, then you depend on machine, you depend on medicine, you depend on things like this. So the sickness itself, it's suffering. So you see what happened. This is very easy to explain to people. When you tell them about this, that this is suffering, sickness, everybody will admit, they say, oh, of course, nobody wants to be sick, okay? So that's why it's called Dukkha-dukkha. Okay, this is suffering caused because of the disliking, or something that we don't want it to be. So you can say that the source of it mainly it's to get what you don't want or not to get what you want. Okay, this is the basic things, which is also part of what the Buddha described. And then you have all the process that it's involved, like a sorrow and sadness and lamentation. When you lose someone, someone die for you, okay? You start to cry or to be sad. You have pain, physical pain, mental pain. And despair, people getting despair, oof, enough, I wanted to stop. Or people go it sometimes very extreme till they want to stop it. What they do, they suicide. Okay, so extreme that it's happened. And then, like I said, sometimes you get things you don't want. For example, suddenly you get tax, or the policeman give you some kind of maybe taxi or whatever, you do, drive fast. Maybe you have a problem in the house, you have some machine, it's broken, it's not convenient, okay? You fire suddenly in the house or whatever. So suddenly you get in the life things which you don't want them, and then they are coming to you. And also you want something, you cannot get it. Some people, they're looking for work, they cannot get it. Like I said before, I just mentioned, some people, they want to get children, they cannot get children, or whatever you want, and you cannot get it. So it's make you a lot of frustration during this time, worries or whatever. And then also to stay in something that you don't happy with, okay? Something like you are going to work, and then suddenly it bring you some colleague which is not convenient, not nice to you to be with them. Or you have to stay a long time with something which you don't really want it. Mm-hmm. So this also make a lot of problem, a lot of suffering. You see, all these things, this is suffering that in the moment that just it's starting, it will not be convenient for you. And then it will go through, also not convenient for you. But in the moment that it will stop, then you feel relief. Yeah. And the Buddha said that actually all these 5 aggregates, they are potential to these kind of things. Okay, if you think about your body, your feeling, nobody would like to feel bad feeling. And sometimes you have to face with bad feeling. Your body is, like we say, so many things that it's not function, and something will not be good, like sickness or whatever, okay? Suddenly you break some part of the body or whatever. So feeling, disliking, okay? Memory, losing memory, cannot remember. Sometimes the memory guide you wrong. You're forgetting things. Some problems you wish to forget, you cannot forget. You say, why so many thinking of this? Why I have to think about this and this? And suddenly you cannot forget it. It's all the time coming back to you, all this thinking. You can sometimes cannot sleep at night because of this. And then the Saṅkhāra, anger coming to you, worry coming and this. And the consciousness, okay? So the Buddha said that actually all these 5 aggregate, what they mentioned, 5 parts, actually I say I am. Their potential to this kind of dukkha, okay, of experience, disliking or inconvenient things. Now, okay. Now I want to go to the second kind of dukkha. Actually, in the sutta itself, it's mentioned as a third, but it's more easy to explain it if I compare it to dukkha-dukkha. This is dukkha which called Vipariṇāma-dukkha. This is the dukkha that come to us because things have the intent to change. This is sometimes difficult to explain to people, but everything in life have the intent to change. Nothing can stay forever. And the Buddha said that because of this, it will cause us suffering. And what the problem of this, that when I have something nice, okay, I wish that this nice will stay, okay? So as long as it's just coming up, it's nice to me. It's nice to me. I like it. But when it's go, I suffer from this. Suppose you get something, I don't know, you go holiday. So, we go holiday, we're very happy. And then we stay in the holiday, also happy. But then what? I have to come back to work. So in the moment that this kind of happiness goes for me, then I will experience suffering. And this is the problematic with the things we like. Okay, we call it the suffering which is come from the changing. And actually everything in the life have to be changed. Nothing stays forever. One time I tried to, I visit some family, I told you about it. And then the woman from the house, she had children, a husband, and they invite me. I was sitting with them, dinner, eating before I became a monk. And then she asked me, what is nirvana? And I tried to explain her. What she answered to me, I don't want nirvana. Why? Because I have to separate from my husband, I have to separate from my children. I don't want this. I like them. But actually, this is impossible that they will live forever. Actually, the husband already passed away. Okay? Children, you don't know. She cannot stay. She herself cannot stay forever. But you see that in the moment that we feel liking, we don't want to lose it. Okay? That's why normally people will say Buddha was a pessimist. He didn't talk about this, and in the life the life is suffering. But why? We have good time, no? We have good food. We have good, I say, holiday, whatever, weekend. So many things, good music, traveling, and then this is the problem, that how much we climb up the mountain more, this is how much we have to go down. How much we experience more enjoyment and happiness from this kind of situations, this is at the end when it will change, we will experience suffering. And this is why every situation is potential. Everything, the good, it's potential to suffering for us. Even now, in this moment, you are not experiencing suffering, but it's just in the future, it will bring with them suffering. That's why the Buddha says it's not worthy. It's not something that you can relate to say, this is the real happiness. This is the real feeling of happiness or whatever. Okay? Okay, one more thing that actually this changing make to us, it's the idea that we all the time under fear. We all the time afraid to lose it. In the moment that you experience this, for example, you have good husband, good children, or whatever, and a good wife, you enjoy with them, you all the time worry about them. This is, we call it, if we talk about this as we call it a love, okay? This is pia, we call it pia. This is love with attachment. So you have something, you think that you have a car, you have whatever, you like it so much. So what happened to you? You all the time under afraid. You think about this, how much when you try to WhatsApp, send, I don't know, message to someone, and this person is not answering to you. Sometimes so stressy. Oh, what happened? Why we don't get any answer? We don't get any things like this. He didn't already a few hours. He didn't answer to me. Maybe something happened to him or whatever. So you all the time worry to lose the things. So if we talk about in the moment that you experience happiness, also then you might experience disliking or fearful. Okay, and how much you attach more to the other things that you holding and you want and make you happy, this is also how much you will be more fearful to lose it. You see, if you refer to the yana, if we talk about the practice and the yana, so you remember Banga yana, it's the second yana. Yeah? Banga yana, it's the banga, it means stopping, ceasing, ending. Okay? And which yana coming after this? You remember? Stefan, you remember what come after Banga yana? Anyone remember what come? Which yana coming after Banga yana?
Paya, paya,
Paya. And what means paya? Fear.
Fear.
The idea, the reason, how come that after Bangayana coming Payayana? When the person practice and realize that everything anicca, everything must be changed, everything ceasing, stopping, ending, this is the reason that he will start to fear. You see the logic of the yana, how they appearing one step after, there is a logic behind it. So why Payayana coming after Bangayana? Because of what I talked just now. That Vipariṇāma-dukkha, people, they afraid to lose. So that's why when they realize in Bangayana that everything have to stop and to cease, then the Payayana will appear. As, oh, I don't want to lose. Maybe something will happen to my relative, maybe something will happen to me, sickness or whatever. So what happened when things, at the end, when these things, what we like disappearing from us, we start to cry, we start to lament, okay, sorrow, sadness, all these things, the heart broken. You think you lose your family members. What happened when people go to the graveyard? They are not happy there, huh? They're crying so much. I saw someone threw himself on the floor and start to roll on the floor. Even the Buddha talked about this in the sutta. When the people, Ananda explained after the Buddha died, many people, they just threw themselves on the floor and start to turn and say, oh, why? It's too early. The Buddha go very early. So I saw someone, mother doing like this in the front of the children, when the child died. So despair, what we are doing normally, we are blaming. Maybe we are blaming the God. Why you did this to me? Why you take from me my love? Why you have to do this? It's not fair. It's not correct. Huh? How much suffering like this? Try to remember when people are losing something. It's not correct. We're blaming the others. Maybe they steal from us or whatever. So this is the Vipariṇāma-dukkha, and this will be a little bit difficult to explain to people. Why? Because people, they're holding, they have attachment to what they like. So even they have to experience, they think, we are going to suffer. Still, I wish to have, even I know that in the future I can bear the difficult later. Actually, they cannot bear the difficult later, but they will not agree with you. They say, no, I don't want that. You say, but if you have a child, you have a problem of child. You say, why? But I want a child. I don't care. I have a problem later. You say, oh, but if you have this and this, later on you will have suffering because of this. No, 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 no. I don't care that I will suffer later. I want this and this. Okay? You see the attachment so strong. So you something like you ignore that in the future you will have to face the suffering. Because why? I want it now. So when we want it now, then we all think. And actually, this is the reason we have the birth all the time. We want, we crave, we attachment. Okay, this is I will talk later. This is at the end of the sutta. The Buddha said how to stop all these three kinds of dukkha. Okay, so this is the second dukkha. This is we call Vipariṇāma-dukkha, which is the Buddha mentioned it. The first we talk Dukkha-dukkha because it's the most clear to understand. Everybody don't want suffering and not comfortable. But the Vipariṇāma-dukkha, which is the suffering for changing, it's more theoretically to most of the people. That's why I try to go into details. What happened in the birth? What happened in the aging? What happened in this? Okay, to remind you what is there, not just to keep it as a wording. Okay, because of change, we are suffering. Now we are coming to the third kind of suffering, which is called Saṅkhāra-dukkha. You can look at it in two ways. The word Saṅkhāra, there is three meanings, but I refer to the two meanings because two of them is somehow similar. One meaning is Saṅkhāra, it means volition or a condition in the mind. okay? Anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. For example, if you are walking on the street and the dog is barking, then maybe you get scared. You experience fear, okay? So where does this fear come from? From the dog or from your mind? From your own self, from ourselves. It means as long as we have fear, sometime it will come up and then we experience it. Not comfortable. Normally we blame. We say, because of them I'm suffering. When so, for example, you driving and someone horning, and then, wow, you get anger. Why pushing? Why you want to drive so fast? So where's the anger? In the other car, in the horn, or inside you? It means that inside us, we have anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. Okay, also bad, also good. We don't experience them all the time. But as long as this, let's say kilesa, Buddha call it kilesa, like a mule, dirty in the mind exists, sometime it will come up and show off. When it will come up, it motivates us to suffering. Okay, so what is Saṅkhāra-dukkha? It's the suffering coming because we have this kind of volition in the mind. This volition is in the mind created because of the ignorant, because of the attachment. But as long as we have them in our mind, sometimes they come up and we feel suffering. But not only this that we will feel suffering. This kind of motivation in the mind will cause us to take the actions. They are the volition. They are the things that make us taking actions. And what kind of actions they do? They will motivate us to do bad actions and also good actions. And what is when we are doing bad actions and good actions? Actually, we're creating karma. We're creating the possibility for future. It means that we will continue running into the samsara. And as long as we are continue running in the samsara, we will experience suffering sometime. From this kind of, or three kinds of dukkha. It means that even now, when I do something good, loving kindness, compassion, I see the poor people, and I say, wow, so nice, I will give them something to eat. And my motivation is to make something good. I create goodness. So I'm happy. But this potential is actually bring me future, okay? Good future. But still give me future. It means even these things, it's actually dukkha. Because it's create continuously in the samsara. And as long as we are still running in the samsara, sometime will bubble any kind of dukkha. It means also the good actions we are doing, motivation, also bad motivation in the mind, creating for us suffering. So this is Saṅkhāra-dukkha. This is very difficult to understand, very delicate. Okay? One thing, because we blame other people. If you ask why you are suffering, say, oh, my colleague, he speak to me bad. Oh, my boss, he didn't give me enough money. Oh, the tax people, they take me too much tax. Or what, the government, they create war and they make us problem, okay? Or the criminal people, they come to my house, or maybe and this terrorist coming and want to bomb us and to kill us or whatever. So what happened? We all the time blaming others, but we have to consider that what is really make us suffering, it's our ignorance in the mind, our greed, anger, delusion that we have in the mind. They are actually, we motivated by them and then we experience suffering. And also this kind of motivation is bringing us future in the later on. So somehow even this motivation is good, but in the potential, in the future, they are I would say cooking for us suffering to the future. But this is one meaning of the word Saṅkhāra. The meaning is like I said, volition in the mind, like all the kind of volition, the good and the bad, which is also give us the feeling of suffering, but also motivating us to continue to reincarnate. Now, another meaning of this Saṅkhāra is any things that is exist in the world. Saṅkhāra, it's mean conditioned. Also, let's say even this glass, it's considered to be Saṅkhāra because something make it. He will make something, okay? The pen, okay? My thinking, my air, this air that exists here, this is created because of something else and also will create something else. So that's why we call them Saṅkhāra. Saṅkhāra, it means everything that exists beside nirvana, because nirvana is the only thing which is not depend on something else. Okay, it's not, let's say, conditioned. It's not conditioned by other things. So when we talk about Saṅkhāra, in this case, the Buddha say, sape Saṅkhāra anicca, sape Saṅkhāra anatta, sape Saṅkhāra dukkha. And he mean about everything that exists only beside one thing, which is nirvana. And the Buddha said that everything in the nature which exists, it's impermanent, changing. Everything in the nature, actually, you cannot really control. We call it non-self. There's anatta. And this brings us suffering. It's mean in this case that, Saṅkhāra-dukkha, it's mean the dukkha that created, the suffering that it created from everything that exists in the nature. Because we cannot control it, and because it's changing to us. So it's already potential to suffering. Okay? You think if I talk about this, it's already potential to suffering because I'm afraid this is, I don't know, porcelain or whatever, very, very expensive. If it will break, Angelica will kill me. So it's very much suffering. Okay, maybe I have envy. This is also Saṅkhāra. It's created, someone created, it creates something else. Maybe it's influence on me physically, okay, because it's there is energy on this or whatever. Maybe it's now in this moment it will not function anymore. I will be very angry about it. Why it's go away? So you see, it's already as a something will have potential to suffering. Also, air around here, okay? There. Suddenly, maybe something happened, the agriculture money go here and make spritz, start to put poison, and then this come to me, and then I start to feel not good because of the poison in the air. So it's also potential. It's mean, or maybe cold, very hot, or whatever. So you see that the Buddha said that everything in the nature beside nirvana is potential to suffering. So this is another meaning to the word Saṅkhāra. The word Saṅkhāra, I said there is three meanings. I use only two of them. One of them is about the volition in the mind, which is bring us suffering. Actually, they are the suffering. Because why? They created because we have ignorant. They created because we have in the mind avijja. And this avijja create inside what we say, we call it us, okay? Three kinds of tanha, attachment. And these three kinds of attachment, the Buddha said, they are the source of the suffering. We have attachment to the sense doors. We like to see beautiful things. We like to hear beautiful, maybe music or whatever. We attach to the hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and feeling touch. So this is why all these ignorant or schmutz or dirty in the mind. Second things, we attach to our being, not to disappear, not to die, that not dangerous will happen to us, to be something. Okay, for example, to have children, that we have a generation behind after us. That everybody know, I did here this place. I built Dhammacari. I have to sign here that everybody know. I donate book. Okay, whatever. I want to be something. I want to be doctor. I want to be professor. I want to be good teacher. All of you will like my Dharma talk so much. This is attachment to be something. Okay? I gave the example when you are riding in the car and suddenly the car moving or something happened. Immediately you're afraid. No accident. Or maybe airplane. For you, everybody holding, very clear that nothing will happen to you. Okay? So it is attachment to be. Okay? And then the third attachment that the ignorance creates in us, it's the attachment not to be. Enough, I don't want this pain. How long do I have to wait for the train? I don't want anymore. When the timer is going to ring, I must open the eyes. Whatever. You don't want, if you take it very extreme, okay, people want, again, suicide. They don't want to be anymore. I don't want this sickness. My dog have a sickness. Maybe I kill him. I make, this is why, this is compassion, no? We do. So we want to stop the pain. We want to stop whatever. We want to end. And this is the third kind of attachment. It's called Vipariṇāma-dukkha, attachment not to be. So actually, the Buddha said that we have three kinds of attachment: tanha, bhava-tanha, vibhava-tanha, and kamma-tanha. And this is actually the reason that we are suffering. And in the sutta, the Buddha said that to overcome any kind of three kinds of suffering, I said, the Dukkha-dukkha, Vipariṇāma-dukkha, okay, and the Saṅkhāra-dukkha, this is only by the Eightfold Path, which is cleaning the mind from the ignorant, from the tanha, from the attachment, and reaching enlightened nirvana. Nirvana, it means nirodha, ceasing of these three kinds of attachment. So only then you are free. And that's why I said that even if you give dana, but you give dana not on the aim to clean the mind from the attachment, but maybe that you will be in the future happy or whatever. So your aim, you direct the mind to continuing. Even you make good. So when you do something good, you have to make wish. Whatever I do will be conditioned for me for nirvana. That's why when we make chanting, we say nirvana pachayo ontu no nichang. Itang tana kamani panna pachayo ontu no nichang. It means whatever dana I give, may it will be conditioned for me for nirvana. Itang sila. Sila, it means precept. Itang sila kamani panna pachayo. Pachaya, it means condition. That the precept that I'm keeping will be conditioned for me for nirvana. Itan bhavana. Bhavana, it means practicing meditation. This meditation that I'm doing, not for happy, but for nirvana. It means to stop the reason of the suffering. Only then, when you stop the reason of the suffering, you clean the mind from the attachment, these three kinds of dukkha will go. The first is the dukkha, that in the moment that you experience it, actually you don't like, not convenient. Okay, I gave example again, maybe you get sickness. No, in the moment that you start to feel, I feel the grippa already starting, you see, just start immediately disliking. Then I'm sick. There is a fever, I'm not happy. In the moment that I recover, I'm happy. Okay, this is Dukkha-dukkha. Another one, it's a Vipariṇāma-dukkha. In the moment that you get it, you are happy. Okay, maybe I have a baby born. I'm with them together, happy. And then maybe sick and die. And then my heart broken. It means that when it's finished, then you suffer. And the third one is the potential of the mental process that we have inside, all this greed, anger, delusion, that when they appear in us, then we experience suffering. So this is what the meaning of these three kinds of dukkha that Buddha mentioned in the sutta. Please, anyone have a question? Again, I say, you see, the first one, it's easy to explain to people. The second and the third, maybe it will be a challenge for you to explain to people. They will not be, don't want to agree about it. They don't want to listen to this because of the attachment. Okay?
Ajarn,
Yes, please.
you said Pia is love with attachment.
Yeah.
What is love without attachment?
Metta, loving kindness. You know, according to if you talk about love, you first one, it's the love that I love you because you're very beautiful, Martin. I love you, Martin, because you smell so nice.
I try
love
not.
you because you taste so nice. I love you because I love your touch. I love your sight. Okay, so I see you, I hear you, I smell you. Same things with whatever. It's flower, it's cake, it's my wife, it's my any things. You get information from the sense doors. That's why you love. I love my wife. She's so beautiful. Okay, my girlfriend, she's so beautiful. That's why I love her. And then I marry her, and then she get pregnant, but she changed. So I go with another woman. So you see, I cannot say it's a real love. Yeah, everything anicca. So the smell change. Okay, actually, you think about this. It's not only the object which change. If I love you, how you look like, tomorrow I go with another person. You will change. I don't like it anymore. If I like whatever it is because of hearing, seeing, smelling, the flower, how long it can be the same. Then I throw him away. I take another flowers. Okay? Maybe taste. How much you can eat pizza? All the time you can have the same pizza. It's bad. After some time you already don't want. Even delicious. Ooh, yummy, yummy. And then I give you every day the same pizza. Okay? At the end you don't want. Whatever schnitzel. I don't know what to do. Anything. Okay? You understand? So this is the first love. The Buddha said the sense doors tricking us like a drugs. They have intents to change. You think the object is changing. I gave example my wife, I marry, and then she became pregnant. She's not looking the same. So I go with another woman. She better looking, she more young. Okay, so we have the sense doors, the Buddha say, they're tricking us. They are not real love. They have the intents to change. Second is the pia. Pia, it's love with attachment. I give you example. I have a son. My son is very ugly, actually. He's sick. He's not smelling good. He has some kind of smelling, his sickness. But he's my son. I don't want him to lose him. It means that this is not about how he looks or how he smells or how he tastes or whatever. It's about this is my, so I attach. Okay, mama, she like the children, but it's not necessary that they will look good or they smell or even or whatever. They can be very sick. I gave you the example. Or my car, I have a very, very old car, hardly is not function. It's not really looks good, but this is my car. I somehow have attachment to this. This is what I want. Okay, so it means that this love, it's pia. It's a love with attachment, and you think that I have maybe 5 children. And my son, he go to travel in another country. And I'm so attached to this son, so I'm not relaxing. But I forget that I have my husband in my home and I have another children. But all the time my mind is thinking about the other son. So you see, this is all the time I worry. And actually maybe having a good times in the Philippines, I don't know, or Thailand, you go holiday there. But for me, I'm all the time worried that something HIV will come to him. I don't know what will happen to him. Okay, so you see, this is again, the Buddha said that if you love with fear, better don't love anyone. You're all the time under fear. Because of this Vipariṇāma-dukkha. And then you have the third love, which is the Buddha teach, and this is metta. Call it Brahma Vihara, part of Brahma Vihara. He said this is love without condition. It's not about how you look and if you belong to me or you don't belong to me, because you are sentient beings. You are creatures. I'm also creatures. I even don't say you are a human being. I'm human being. Okay? And I know what is to be happy, what's to seek for love. So I know also about you. That's why I think about you. You know, I say many times I was hearing that the Lama, Chinese people took his country. He never talked bad about them. He never criticized. He said, because of Chinese people, I became very famous around the world. Everybody know about me only because of Chinese. And actually what they have done to him, terrible. I see other countries, they do this kind of thing, the same things to another countries. All the time they are blaming, fighting, killing, or whatever. They try to take back their place. But the Dalai Lama thinking differently, he think Buddhism. This is my own karma to pay. I have to bear it. Okay, so we know that he have to develop good karma, which is metta, loving kindness, and not hatred and war, because then it creates another problem to the future. So better to stop it by the contra, by the opposite. You want to turn off the fire, you have to put the water and not to create more water, fire. Understand? So metta, it's love without condition. You don't have to belong to me. You don't have to be beautiful. You even don't need to success on the examination or whatever it is that I teach you. It's not depend on your success on what I teach you. Because you are creatures, sentient beings. So I love you. Understand? And this is very, very high. This is something that we have to develop.
Thank you, Ajarn.
Welcome.
So, Ajarn,
yes, please.
I have many questions. Yeah.
Please, whatever. You ask whatever.
Yeah. Can someone understand Dhamma without practicing Vipassana?
You see,
and the other one is how we can realize or understand attachment without practicing Vipassana. Or can someone understand Dhamma with thinking? Such things, yeah. It's 3 questions.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
First I explain you what the meaning of the word Vipassana.
Yeah.
Vipassana, it means eightfold path. To understand Dhamma, you must follow eightfold path. It can be that the person reborn and he understands Dhamma and he never practice. He never meet the Buddhism. You know why? Because he practiced and developed it in the past life. And this is practice Dhamma, it means developing the eightfold path. Developing the eightfold path is developing the right wisdom, right thinking, right, you understand? This keeping precept is also follow Dhamma. But you have to understand that the eightfold path, we call it neither bright, neither dark. Because the aim of the eightfold path is nirvana. But to keep precept and to behave good, to give dana, it's actually bright with bright. It's doing something good that will give you something future good. But officially, the Eightfold Path must be based by this. The Eightfold Path, I'm doing things for nirvana. For example, you take religious people, whatever, I don't know, Jewish or Muslim or Christian. They think, if I make something good, it will be good for me. So they based not, they're thinking I make good, and their aim is not nirvana. They don't know, understand nirvana, but they understand that this is good because I receive good in the future. So maybe if they die, they go and stay nearby the God, okay, or whatever. They have good future. But the Buddha said this is not the real happiness because it's just continuously in the samsara. But you cannot say that the Eightfold Path is not based. The underground of it, it's good with good. Okay, so now people do good. It's already increasing their goodness, sila. Okay. Then it's give them, when they are sitting, they can easily develop the mind, okay? Concentrate, they will be more relaxed. Then the wisdom will come. When the wisdom will come, then they understand we should do good. So then they start, so then what the will? You see, the wheels of Dhamma start to work. Okay. Now I show you that someone coming from background which is not connected to Buddhism at all. But what about people that come to this world? I'm not talking about this, they were already Sotapan, at least Junla Sotapan. It means you don't know, but they have base, maybe more than me, on Buddhism. Why? Not because I witness about this, that they have done it in this life, but they have done it in past lives. So what does mean? They are not something like they're reborn, not in the Dharma, but the Dharma is inside them. Sotapan, the Dharma is inside them. Even we don't know, it's not something like, but it will, he have already the base of the Eightfold Path inside them. So it's two options. One option is someone that he come from the past into this life. And then he realized that he remember what he know already. That's what you say. If someone, he will develop himself in the Dharma, but he never practiced Dharma because he have this background in the past. And this life, he didn't practice yet. He born, I don't know, in Papua New Guinea. Okay, because of some kind of karma. And then he go through this, and then somehow we have problem, and he fall into the water, and the boat take him, and then bring him to Australia, and then he meet Ajahn Brahm. You understand? Why? Yeah. Because he have to get rid from some kind of karma before he will meet again Ajahn Brahm. But can be that he's Sotapan actually. But he have to pay bad karma. You understand? So this is one thing I told you. The second is that he come from another another background, but because somehow we make good, because good that receiving good from another religion. Maybe he's a Christian. He believe in Jesus so much. So he make dana, and then blah, 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 and then he start to develop in the Dharma. Understand?
Yeah.
And then when he switch into practice Dharma, it means he practice the Eightfold Path, then switch to his nirvana will be his object. Not the God, not to stay nearby the angels. But nirvana will be the Buddha, something like this. The Buddha will be his example and not Jesus anymore. For example, okay? Or Muhammad or whatever.
Sometimes thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Sometimes you see people nearby us that it looks like this. Please. Bitte schön. Any question? Good. So if everything clear, I say again, thank you very much. I wish for you, for all your goodness, the Sila Samadhi Panya that you are building, cultivating, will help you to overcome all kind of dukkha, to clean your mind from all kind of attachment, to be free, nirodha, that you find the real happiness. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we pay respect again to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Bhutan Bhagavantan Abhivati Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sankho Saṅkhāra-dukkha. Dankeschön. Gute Nacht. Guten Schlaf.